We decided to shoot a short film in Hong Kong, but wanted it to take place mostly in the mountains. You may remember that Albert and I like to go hiking, so we thought we could kill two birds with one stone by going hiking and shooting the exterior scenes for our film in one day. The first place that sprung to our mind was Victoria Peak on Hong Kong Island side. Our plan was to record some footage whilst walking along the Hong Kong Trail, which loops around the peak. In order to get up to Victoria Peak, we had to wait for our transport in the Central District. Our transportation was in the form of the Peak Tram. Since Albert planned the hike, I let him do the narration for a change. That's the best commentating we've had so far in the series. Alright, I'll take over the usual due east. There's the tram. That's the end of the tram. Yeah. The Peak Tram is the quickest way to the top and covers a rough distance of 1.4 kilometers. The route has a height difference of 368 meters and the steepest angle on the track is 27 degrees, which is particularly noticeable as you look out the window. It's amazing how the Peak Tram has been running for so long, since it opened to the public in 1888. In 1989, an overhaul was carried out by the Swiss company Von Roll, which included a new track and computerized system. Once we arrived at the peak, we started the Hong Kong Trail.
Well, typically I just use my camera or a phone to take photos, but this is the first time that Albert's brought out his iPad.
It's not the first time.
It's the first time I've seen you do it, anyway.
The views from the top of the mountain were fantastic. There were, however, some issues. The point in this hike was to get some footage for our film, which would be set in some remote mountains. The peak in reality has a lot of tourists. The trail is nicely paved, there are guardrails on the side, and there are random garages placed in the middle of nowhere.
But in all its seriousness, why is there a single garage? And nothing more.
The scenery then wasn't going to be of much use.
Nothing like the ground.
I was expecting you to take out the iPad, seeing as we are actually lost on the set of Neighbours in Australia.
Good idea, mate.
Albert has lost his Australian accent since coming to Melbourne. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we just arrived on the morning trail. Good piece of wood.
Anybody home?
So it started over there and we just ended over here.
The peak may have provided a good walk, but unfortunately did not provide us with the footage we need. Nevertheless, we waited until night to check out the city lights.
It's quite dark here, so that does actually conclude our not so hike-ish hike around the peak.
Spread your arms so we know you're there.